Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making block 9. It is called Homeward Bound in our 12 Blocks of Christmas quilt along. So for this, you're going to need 3 fabrics. So I chose the dog fabric. I thought it was kind of fitting, Homeward Bound, you know, like the movie. And anyways, so I chose this dog fabric. But we're going to start out with, now I already made 2 of these, but so you're going to need 4 of each of these squares. You're going to need 4 of, I chose the bones in 3.5-inch squares, and 4 of, well, I chose the scarves and hats and stuff in 3.5-inch squares, and 4 3.5-inch by 6.5-inch rectangles. So we're going to sew those together, and to start, well, I'm going to have to, to start, we're just going to sew these 2 together. These 2 and these 2. Now I already did the other 2, just testing it out, making sure it was going to work out. I always do a test run for some of these. Okay, I'm going to sew those 2 together and then I'll be right back. Done that. Let's iron it open. Doesn't really matter which side we're ironing it to. So I'm just gonna iron it to the gray, I guess. Like I said, doesn't really matter. Now here's where it gets tricky. So, like I said, I already did 2. I'm gonna lay this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out this block before we sew the rest. So the dog fabric, I had 4 6.5-inch squares. Sorry. The bones, I also needed 1 6.5-inch square. Now the corners of the block is going to be this gray fabric with the hats and scarves. So I'm going to lay that there. Like I said, I already did 2. And I'm going to lay that there. Now what I want is it to kind of mimic each other. So I want this long piece on the inside. It really doesn't matter. It's just, for me, that's what I want. So if you sew these wrong and you have it down here like this, well, that is the same, I guess. But if you have it down here like this, where this is going this way and this one's going up and down, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever you want, but that's how I want mine. So I'm going to lay these down here, and then I'm going to lay this out to how I want it. So now my long piece is on the inside of both of them. See how I just laid it out? So now I'm going to fold this over, and I'm just going to pin it there on the side I'm going to sew it, just like always. And then the same here, I'm just going to fold this over and pin it right here so I don't get confused when I take it to the sewing machine. So I'm going to go sew those up, and I will be right back. All right, so this one also goes together pretty quick. Not like that last one. That last one could get a little confusing, but I really do like the look of it. The last one was called City Streets, if you wanted to look it up. All right. So now we're just going to lay them back where they were, alongside in the middle. And now really our blocks are complete. We're going to sew our blocks into rows, and then our rows into the big block. So we're just going to sew these 2, and these 2. And I'm just going to fold them here and pin them just like I always do. On the side I'm going to sew. And then I'll be back to show you, to let you watch me do the next step. You know what the next step is, but we'll be back. Okay, so now I did neglect to mention one thing, although I'll wait for it. So I am ironing all these to the dog side because they're alternating. So if I iron them all to the dogs, they're going to go very well together when I try to line up my seams. I neglected to mention that it is a directional fabric. I'm sure you all knew that already, but I want to make sure when I sew it together that it's not upside down. Now, if they were all upside down, that'd be great. I could just flip it over and do it. But if I happen to sew this one wrong, then I'm going to have to use my seam ripper or deal with the fact that I didn't do it right. But, so there we are, our rows. So I'm just going to fold this up. And now since I ironed them both to the dogs, they're going to sit right in there very beautifully together. think I might need to get out some more needles. These, been using them a lot. I do have the walnut shells in that pin cushion I made, but I don't know. So we're gonna unfold that then. Well, again, double checking that my dogs are all the same way. My gray ones are in the corner, and then I'm gonna double check that too. Dogs are going the right way. Gray ones are in the corner. Fold it down. Pin in the seams that line up beautifully. And then at the end and back at the beginning too. This block is going to have a red background along with the next 3 after it. So we're going to go ahead and sew this up and I'll be right back. All right, sewn both, or all 3 rows together, both lines. We're going to iron this to the middle. And the reason being is because there's a seam right here and there's not one in the middle. So that's where I ironed it to. So there it is. It's called Homeward Bound. Again, the batting is going to be 18.5 inches, just like the block. And the back will be 20 inches in red this time. So let me go cut that and then I'll be right back to show you. All right. Oh, I like this with the red background. It really brings out the red in that fabric, doesn't it? I'm going to line that up, smooth it down. Make it as even as we can. It's not completely even. Oh well. All right, and now, just like always, I'm going to pin it in my corners. And again, I'm not quilting it just yet. I'll wait till I have all the red blocks done. These pins, I'll wait till I have all the red blocks done, and then I'll quilt them, and then I'll quilt the white ones, and then I'm going to do the white ones last because because I am quilting the whole, when I put the blocks together, I'm quilting it with white, or I'm attaching it with white. So then it'll be one last step. So there it is. It's called Homeward Bound. I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you make the block and love it. And again, I do have the Facebook group. It's called 12 Blocks of Christmas. Please join and share with me what you're making. Let me know what you think of each of them. Or if you change something, let me know. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day.